My name is Ananya. I am 22 years old. My life is nothing like yours. Go away if you have a weak heart. Go away now. This story is cruel, dark, and full of pain. And if you are still here, then be warned that you won't be able to sleep well tonight. My parents did not care about love or dreams. They sold me for money and power. I was forced to marry a man I did not choose. He is very rich, but his heart is cold and cruel. My family's debts became my prison. From the very first day, I felt trapped in a golden cage that burns with pain. This is not a story of hope. It is a story of broken dreams and harsh truths. Don't say I didn't warn you. I was born in a small town with dust on the streets and smoke in the air. My family had nothing, but they had pride. Pride does not feed your stomach. Pride does not keep the cold away at night. When I finished college, I wanted to work. I wanted to teach, to stand on my own feet, to find myself. But my parents had other plans. Career can wait, they said. Marriage is more important. We must find you a good husband. As soon as I turned 20, they told me I must marry. Not for love, not for happiness, but for survival, for money, for my family. I fought back, but in my house, parents' words were final, and soon they told me about Raghav. And so I was given to Raghav. Raghav, the man who would destroy my life, piece by piece. He was older than me, strong once, but now his legs did not work. A cruel accident had left him disabled, but his mouth still worked, his hands still worked, his cruelty, oh, that worked better than ever. He looked at me not as a wife, not as a human, but as a property. I was his cage bird. Raghav was the son of a very rich businessman. He was educated, brilliant in numbers and strategy, but he was also disabled. A car accident in his teenage years had left him in a wheelchair. My parents said, "This is a blessing. He's rich and he needs a good wife. You will live in comfort all your life." I felt my heart break. This is not love. This was a deal. I begged my parents. I cried, but they refused. "We are not forcing you for cruelty," my father said. "This is for your future and for our family's respect." Raghav's father is saving our business. Without him, we will lose everything. So I agreed, not for love, not for respect, but because my parents chained me to duty. The wedding was grand, but my heart was cold. When I saw Raghav for the first time, he looked at me not with kindness, but with power. His eyes were sharp, and his smile was thin. He did not thank me for marrying him. He only said, "You should know, Ananya, you are not here because I need love. You are here because I want control and because your family owes mine." That night, I realized the truth. Raghav was not a man to pity. He was not weak. He was arrogant, commanding, and cruel in his words. He made me feel small. He mocked my dreams of a career. He reminded me every day that without him, my family would be nothing. At first, I hated him, but slowly I also saw something else. He was brilliant. He knew business, politics, society. He had built empires from his chair. People feared him, respected him. Even when they whispered about his body, he wore his arrogance like armor, so no one could wound him. But for me, his wife, it was a prison. One day I met Arjun. He was my old friend from college, the man I once loved. He worked in a small company now, living simply but freely. He looked at me and said, Ananya, you're not the girl I knew. Where is the fire in your eyes? Leave this cage. Come with me. For the first time, I felt hope. My heart wanted to run. Arjun promised me freedom, dreams, and love. But when I returned home, Raghav was waiting. He had already found out. His voice was calm but terrifying. Go if you want, but know this, Ananya, your father will lose everything. Your family will be on the street. I am the reason they survive. Without me, they will be ruined. I broke that night. My choices were chains. Love on one side, family duty on the other. Freedom on one side, guilt on the other. Weeks later, I learned something that shook me. Raghav was not just protecting my father's business. He had been secretly paying my mother's hospital bills, clearing my brother's debts, and even helping my cousins. He never said it. He never showed it. He hid it under his arrogance. And when I asked him why, he only said, because I know no one would ever see me as more than a cripple with money. But at least I can buy loyalty. And at least I can protect what belongs to me. In that moment, my hatred turned into something else: confusion, guilt, maybe even respect. He was cruel, but also broken, proud, but also bleeding inside. Now I stand at a crossroad. Arjun waits for me with the promise of freedom and love. Raghav holds me in a cage, but a cage that also keeps my family alive. Society whispers in my ear. My parents beg me not to leave, and my heart is torn between rage and duty. Do I stay with the man who chains me, but also saves my family? Or do I run with the man who loves me, but leaves behind the people who gave me life? Sometimes life is not about what you want. Sometimes it is about what you are forced to carry. And sometimes the hardest prison is not walls or cages, but the chains of family, society, and duty. This is my story. This is my truth. And even today, I do not know if I will ever be free.